So in this video, I do want to talk about KDA. We're going to be having a look at Bitcoin, Ethereum in just a second. Can this be the real deal? Is this just a fake out? What is happening? But before anything, I know a lot of you guys have been a little bit negative on the KDA price action lately, and all of a sudden you guys are happy because KDA is pumping. Now, obviously KDA is pumping because Bitcoin's pumping and Ethereum's pumping, okay? But we are not yet in an altcoin season, so you guys need to take it down a notch. And for those of you guys who are flooding KDA after the AMA a few weeks ago, you guys need to calm down. That was very, very, very bullish news for those of you guys who don't know. I know a lot of people were anticipating like, big centralized exchange such as Coinbase or whatnot. And that's not always the case. Like we saw what happened with WIF, Dog with Hat, when it got listed on Coinbase. It literally tanked. We have never seen an all-time high after, pretty much it got listed on Coinbase. So, tier one exchange or Coinbase listing is not always the solution. Massive partnerships with like big teams and stuff like that. It's not really, the big deal. What the big deal is right now is the fact that it's EVM compatible. So not only are we going to get developer adoptions on the Kadena ecosystem, but we also get like a 20 chain expansion, which is obviously pretty bullish for KDA. So yes, things might be slow now. Things might not be what it seems like, in this bull market, but we are not in a bull market for altcoins yet. This is something that I don't know how many times I'm going to say. Yes, some altcoins are pumping such as Sui and Solana, but that's an exception. Okay, we are not yet in a bull market for KDA. We are not yet in a bull market for 90% of the altcoins. Okay, so we have to be a little bit more patient. And pretty much that's about it. By the way, if you guys do want to join my Patreon, you guys can actually get 20% off using the code KDA on the diamond tier right here. Okay, so 20% off, just use Kadena. That's the name. I will be dropping the code and the link in the description below, but pretty much that's about it. Make sure you guys check out my Patreon. And of course, if you guys do want to trade on TOOBIT, one of the leading exchanges, and you want to essentially long KDA, you could actually get a $30,000 bonus right here. And of course, if you do want to get free access to my VIP signals, you could go ahead and deposit $5,000 into TOOBIT using the link in the description below. Come in, join my Discord, and you will get free VIP access. Okay, so before I have a look at KDA, I do want to have a look at the ETF inflows real quick. You guys can see right here that there's not so much inflow, obviously. We did have a 55 Bitcoin outflow on the 30th of December. 31st of December, we had 36, so minimal volume, followed by yesterday's 0, obviously, because that was a holiday. You guys can see right here, the crypto bubble is pretty much in green. Fartcoin is making the top 100 cryptocurrency, sitting at $1.4 billion. But overall, the crypto market has pretty much been in green right now. If we have a look right here at Bitcoin on the right side of my screen, everything is pretty much in green. KDA is a top gainer with 5.79%. Obviously, way higher than, Cardano and, Caspa and whatnot. But obviously, roughly all the altcoins are pretty much up the same, as you guys can see. But in this video, I do want to have a look at Bitcoin because we know Bitcoin is king, guys. Bitcoin is the leader. We're going to be having a look at Bitcoin on the daily, the 4-hour, and we're going to be having a look at Ethereum before we actually dive into KDA and have a full analysis, because Bitcoin and Ethereum, I think Ethereum does lead altcoins at the end of the day, and Bitcoin does lead Ethereum. So we're going to have to see what happens here. But you guys can see that Ethereum, after a long range of consolidation, Ethereum has been, consolidating for some time since, December 2026. We actually have been consolidating, and things are looking pretty darn good right now. Now, some resistance we're going to be having a look at is probably this resistance sitting at 35 or 3,500. Now, I'm not completely bullish yet on crypto or on altcoins just yet. I think that we might have one more dump yet. I mean, you guys can see that obviously we are still in a downtrend after pretty much, we're just consolidating right now after a massive dump on Ethereum. Ethereum did peak at 4,100, came all the way down to 3,1. And I do think we could see one last ugly shakeout before literally exploding. I do think that we're going to have something like this and really exploding. I'm not saying all of January is going to be bearish, but I do think that we could see one last shakeout. Obviously, this is not guaranteed, but I am waiting. If we do break this level right here on Ethereum, and I would say like mostly like if we do close above 3,652, then I think we're going to be in an altcoin season. The bull market is going to be back. But until we don't break 3,652, I don't really see, crypto, Ethereum, or anything like that being bullish. Having a look at Bitcoin right here, you guys can see that Bitcoin on the daily time frame is breaking above the trend line. Okay, so Bitcoin has been in a downtrend since December 17, 2024, and of course we are finally breaking this trend line. But the thing that I'm seeing right now is that every pump that we're seeing right now, we don't have so much volume. The volume is actually really low. I mean, you guys can see right here that the volume is really low, so that's why I'm not buying this pump. That's why I think we might see one last shakeout. Now, if we had very high volume bullish engulfing candle and a massive pump, then I would be like, all right, you know what, this could be a massive reversal. But if we have a look right here compared to other cryptos, right, I mean, you guys can see right here, we were in a downtrend right here on October 29, 2024. Bitcoin peaked all the way down to $64,000. What happened? Then we saw massive volume. We saw crazy amounts of volume pretty much going up, skyrocketing days after days. And right now we're seeing a pump, but we're not seeing the volume pump. We're not seeing the volume going up. So we need to see some volume. We need to see some volume going up in order for us to pretty much see that. Now, if we have a look right here at the stochastic RSI, let me just pull up the stochastic RSI real quick. You guys can see right here that we are a little bit oversold right here on the stochastic RSI. So obviously a bounce was due, in my opinion. We were oversold probably at the lowest in a very long time. So like I said, guys, we needed to have that relief bounce in Bitcoin, and pretty much that's about it. But another thing that I do want to talk about is that Bitcoin technically is kind of doing a sort of bearish divergence right here. So we're gonna have to be careful on what happens, guys. Remember, fake outs could happen. If we have a look right here at the 4-hour time frame, Bitcoin is nearing the VPVR point of control. Okay, this is a very important zone. If Bitcoin can manage to break 97,000, 100,000 and float above 100,000 in the coming weeks, then like I said, we could see an altcoin season. But remember, guys, things could be very dirty, and they could get very dirty. I'm not ruling this out. I think that Bitcoin could still see 86, $87,000 very soon. I think the point of control right here is a very important one. We already got rejected once. I wouldn't be surprised if we're gonna get rejected another time. This is Kadena right here, obviously looking solid, but we don't have so much support. Ultimate support level, in my opinion, would be 64 cents. Now, obviously, if we have a look right here on the 12-hour time frame, yes, KDA is holding, you know, this region pretty well, in my opinion. If we do manage to break this region, that would be very bullish. We also did break this zone right here on KDA, so obviously we know the trend is your friend until it bends, and we did finally break this trend. But the big question is, are we going to continue? Now, how will I be bullish on KDA? Well, there's a few lines or resistance that we need to break. This would be the first one. You guys can see right here, this was a resistance, support, resistance. We have a few resistance level. The point of control right here, we are above the second point of control, which is pretty bullish. But overall, we're going to need to see this break, in my opinion. If we manage to see this break, that's going to be very good for KDA. And then after that, for the cherry on top, if KDA can manage to stay above $1.28, then I could be bullish on KDA again, and we could be like, okay, we're gonna essentially see KDA, you know, this is the real deal. This is not just a pump, but we need to see a 30% pump, which I don't know if it's gonna happen within the next 48 hours or so. But obviously anything can happen, guys. You never know who's gonna buy Bitcoin or what Elon Musk is gonna say. So this is why we always have to keep an eye, and this is why we always have to be open to our essential essential trades. So that's what's happening with KDA. And another thing that I do want to talk about, guys, on KDA is actually the exponential moving average. If you guys have been, following my, channel on Twitter, you guys know that I'm pretty big on the exponential moving average. And something that's really bullish on the 4-hour exponential moving average is that KDA looks like we are finally breaking above, the exponential moving average on the 4-hour time frame, which is pretty bullish. Now, yes, we are above it, and this is a bullish sign. But until these yellow ribbons don't come above the red ribbons, I don't see KDA being bullish. Kind of like the same thing we saw right here. So you guys can see, yes, we were trending to the upside, but as soon as we saw these yellow exponential moving average go up, this is pretty much what started the rally. But we know, guys, every time we are below these EMA ribbons, things are pretty bearish, and when we are above it, things are bullish. But this could be a fake out, so we're gonna have to really see what happens on a longer time frame, such as the 8-hour and the daily. We are still well below these exponential moving average, guys. This is on the longer time frame, so we're gonna have to see what happens, and if KDA could manage to essentially break $1.10 in the coming days. If that happens, then that could be another bullish indicator. But as of right now, guys, on the longer time frame, such as a daily time frame, KDA is not bullish just yet. You guys can see right here, we know what happened when the last time it did that. When we broke above it, we came back up, retested, and then pretty much exploded all the way to $2. So we're gonna have to see what happens, guys, in the next coming days. Like I said, everything is going to depend on Bitcoin. Everything is going to depend on Ethereum, because, like, let's be honest, guys, if Ethereum and Bitcoin dumps right now, you're most likely going to see KDA bleeding. Okay, so it's not always Kadena and the team selling. It's not always that. You guys need to understand that it's just the market. That's how the market is. If you guys do like this video, don't forget to smash the subscribe button. And of course, if you guys do want to sign up to my Patreon and you guys do want to essentially sign up with TOOBIT and get a $30,000 bonus, make sure you guys click on the link in the description below. And I will see you guys in my next video.